Hello, welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to see how to connect to MS SQL Server from MuleSoft Anypoint Studio, that is Mule for Anypoint Studio. So in the previous video, we saw how to connect to PostgreSQL, but in this video, let us see how to connect to MS SQL Server. I have already created a Mule project with a HTTP listener and configured my basic information where I have added a base path as API and the path details with MS SQL demo. So without wasting time, let me go to the database and add a select palette into this. Also, let me add a transform message since we want to transform the output of the query to a JSON value. So let me add a logger in case if I debug, I would be able to view the details. So here, let's change to JSON, and this is the output value which will be sent. In the select palette, we need to configure the connector configurations, provide the SQL query and any parameter values. So let's click on plus. First of all, we need to select the MS SQL Server connection, and here we can see information where it is pointing that there are some dependencies which needs to be installed. Okay, so let me click on configure and click on add Maven dependencies. By default, all the information has been pre-populated by Mule. There is no requirement to do anything else apart from clicking on finish. When the finish is clicked, this MuleSoft Anypoint Studio is clever enough to add all the dependencies which is required for the MS SQL Server. Now, let's give the details. This is where my current MS SQL Server has been deployed and running, and the port would be 1434. This is where my SQL Server is being executed in the system. So, user demo user1 and the password, and I have a database called as Northwind. If you see, this is a database and it has a table called employee, and we'll be selecting the last name, first name, title and address for a given employee. Okay, so let's come back to the studio. Let me test the connection. If all the configuration information are provided, then it should be successful. Yes. Now let's click OK. Now the next part is to provide SQL text as well as a parameter value. I'm going to I already have the query, so that I'll just copy it just to save some time. Here I'm instructing the query that I will be passing a value dynamically. So how do we set that value? In the input parameters, let me click on the function value and let me copy this. I'll explain you what exactly it is doing. So here I'm saying this employee value is over here, and I'm populating with attributes.query params of 0. That is, at the moment I'm going to send only one param ID. So when it comes to much more deeper, might be I'll give some other videos which would have a different, like a frame from a payload or from a variable value. But at the moment, I'm going to send a query parameter value for the employee ID. So there are no errors. Let me save it. So let me run in the debug. In case if I encounter any issues, I'll be able to debug it. So now there is no errors. So meanwhile, it is getting loaded, it is getting deployed. I have a Postman and I prepared a request for calling this API, HTTP API with the employee ID value as 3. So let me see if it is if it is deployed. It's still about to deploy. Yeah, now we can see that this application has been deployed successfully without any issues. So let me come back to Postman and click on send. So here I got the information that is with last name, address, first name, and everything. So let me change this to file. So I should be basically getting a different information of a different employee. So when I click send, yes, here we can find a different employee information. This is all about how to connect to MS SQL Server from Anypoint Studio. Please do subscribe and comment. Thank you.